Thanks again for joining us here at the Nerd Cave. I'm your host Travis, and this is the Save Toys YouTube channel. Now, I'm a little bit emotional about this particular episode because, well, it's been a while since I filmed in the Nerd Cave. I think the last video I did was before Thanksgiving of 2019. And yeah, you're probably saying, Travis, I've seen some videos on your channel since then. First off, thank you for watching. And second, those were pre-recorded, so this is actually my first time back in front of the camera in quite some time. And with that said, we're going to be reviewing on this week's episode of Save Toys Rewind, this guy, my 1981 vintage Skeletor. Now, before we go any further, I want to say a special thank you and give a great shout out to the good people at Second Chance Toys on Facebook. The administrators of the group is Don and Tia, and their names are right here, so you be sure to look them up as they help make this episode possible. Second Chance Toys is a great page on Facebook, a great group. They do everything action figures and toys there, so hey, if you're not there, you need to be asking yourself, why am I not there? So instead of saying like, what you doing? Go look them up. All right, let's get back focused on this one. Next, in our absence from YouTube, we also launched the Save Toys webpage at savetoys.com. Check us out and leave us some messages down here below on the message board at YouTube and tell me what you think. It's a work in progress, a lot left to go. Like and subscribe here at the Save Toys YouTube channel. At the filming of this episode, we're at around 400 subscribers. I'd kind of hoped for 500 before Christmas of 2019, but with all the things going on with COPPA and the FTC, we didn't quite make it. So let's work our way towards it, shall we? And so with that, let's move on and take a look at this figure. All right, this, well, is Save Toys. Just like Santa Claus on December 25th, another episode of Save Toys come and gone. Very quickly, before we head over to the review booth, I want to talk a little bit about this figure. Released in 1981, it is the first version of Skeletor that I'm aware of. Now, there is a peach cheek Skeletor, that's not Skeletor. Anyway, that one I've heard is rare and very collectible, so if you can find it, be sure to pick that one up. Now, another thing about this action figure that we saw just a minute ago in the picture is he's rocking the half boots. Now, that looks a little bit crazy, at least from my perspective, until I take a look at some of the Alcala artwork, where really it's supposed to be more of a shin guard, at least in my opinion. So with those few facts covered, we're going over to the review booth and look at this great vintage action figure. So meet me over there. So this is my vintage 1981 Skeletor in the review booth. Now, a quick side note, between filming the other takes and actually being in the review booth, my hot water heater in the attic kind of had a mishap, so it was a little bit of a struggle, but we are here, back in the review booth, so let's get started. Now, first thing, let's take a look at this figure right here. Now, you'll notice it has the half sword, and I'm sure I'm talking to many tried and true Motu fans, but the half sword was originally part of the gimmick of the Castle Grayskull, which I had as a kid. Skeletor had half the power sword, and He-Man had half the power sword. Put them together, whoever does that has the key and is the owner of Castle Grayskull. There goes my Havoc staff. Now, there you go. We can keep him in line. Let's lay him down here. Beautiful Havoc staff, a little bit more flimsier than what I'd like, but as you'll see in just a minute with some comparison, figures have done really well at getting better over the years. Now, this one, again, I got it from Second Chance Toys. Thank you, Don. But limited points of articulation, but that's not the issue. These were some of the first figures, if not the first, to have this bulky look, going from the Star Wars figures put out by Kenner at the time. And so it really looks like he just crushed, Darth Vader. I mean, obviously, if Skeletor fought Darth Vader, this guy wins. That's my opinion. So, take it for what's worth. But beautiful armor. Arms, man, these joints, after all these years, still good and tight. And I am an OCD person. I'm not gonna just start wiggling around. I see some reviewers doing it. Great if you do. I don't, because I don't want these beautiful things to loosen. Man, the leg joints, that one's really tight. Oh, there goes the sword. Of course, the soft head. This is not the peach cheek version. Great back. Some of the things you need to look for with some of these vintage Motu figures is the back will start spotting real bad just with time. You know, it looks terrible. But the paint, really great still to this day. Half boots, like we talked about earlier, more of a shin guards actually, like we were speaking about earlier. But let's put him down and do a little bit of comparison. Now, I have this guy ready. This is my Filmation 5-inch version. As you can see, they're definitely different. This one was meant to look more like the comic books which were coming out when the figures were first released. Now, 2 years later, the Filmation came along, and this is what Skeletor became. A little bit more defined mask, head, excuse me. And you notice that this head is not floating. This head, due to the black paint, let's see him right there, all right up there, really gives the illusion of the skull floating, which is more Filmation cartoon accurate. Same points of articulation, same tight joints, and the punching action. Let's see if this one still works. I forgot about that actually. No, this one didn't have it. It's kind of tight there. So I don't know if over the years the first release didn't have that. I don't know, but it's too tight to really be called that on this one. Maybe it's just age. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. But this one has it. You notice the feet different. This was more of the Skeletor monster look, and this is the Filmation boot look. But one thing I want to point out before I go, and this one has the whole sword. I have the half sword, but it's with another Skeletor at the time. But as I promised earlier, talked about earlier, the new Havoc stack. Thicker, less flimsy, more Filmation accurate. But then again, this one was not going for that. This is a beautiful figure and one that I really love having in my collection. So we're finished here in the review booth. We're going to head over to the Nerd Cave and sign off. Meet me over there, and I'll talk to you in just a second. See you there. That's it. And again, welcome back to the channel. And like, subscribe, help the channel grow. You guys are who we work for, and you really help us grow. So do that for me. Comment down below. Tell me what you like, what you think, what you'd like to see happen in the Save Toys channel. And it feels so natural to say, as we always ended our other episodes, if you like it, collect it. Until next week, you've been at Save Toys.